name's Paul. I'm 25, and I work at a small company that handles reservation management and consulting for restaurants. The only full-time staff are me, the president, and the vice president. Everyone else is part-time, about 15 people in total. One of the places we work with is an izakaya pub where my younger sister, Paige, works. The other day, I was on the phone with her, and she said,
"Oh, by the way, my manager was raving about you. He said your work is meticulous and he can tell you really care about our restaurant."
"Oh, really? That's awesome to hear."
Yeah, and customers who made reservations over the phone also said the call center staff were really polite.
That's mostly our part-timers answering the phones. I'll make sure to tell them. They'll be happy to hear it. In our company, the part-timers handle most of the phone reservations and online bookings. If things get busy, of course, the president and I pitch in too. Now, the part-timers are great, very reliable. But the vice president? He's a whole different story. Full-time employees are supposed to clock in at 9 a.m., but he regularly strolls in 2 or 3 hours late. And when he's here, he doesn't actually work, but he just sits at his desk reading manga or playing games. I'm about the only one who ever tells him, "Hey, do your job!" The part-timers aren't in a position to call him out, and the president? Well, he's the VP's younger brother, kinda timid, and basically just a pawn the VP uses. From what I've heard, the company started because the VP, who has a lot of connections in the nightlife district, went around to restaurant owners he knew and said, "Why don't you let my new company handle your reservation management?" He didn't want to be president himself, because being president means taking full responsibility when things go wrong, so he pushed the title onto his brother instead. Because of all that, plenty of employees and part-timers have quit over the years, fed up with the VP's laziness. I've thought about quitting myself more than once. But when I first got hired here, jobs were hard to come by, my dad was in the hospital, and I had to earn money to support my family no matter what. Paige was still in high school at the time, and since this job allows side gigs, quitting just wasn't an option for me. Another reason I couldn't just walk away from this job was that I was the one who interacted the most with the restaurants we worked with. I still remember a manager once telling me, "Thanks to you, Paul, our sales have gone up. We're looking forward to working with you for years to come." Words like that made it hard for me to quit. Still, I knew one day I'd have to make up my mind and leave. One afternoon at the office, I glanced over at the VP. That's when,
"Hey, Paul, remember that place we signed a contract with recently? The manager called me last week. He wants to talk about his website, so I told him you'd come by today at 3 p.m.
"What? You should have told me sooner! At that time, we'll only have one part-timer in the office. If the phones start ringing non-stop, they won't be able to handle—"
Huh? Quit whining and just go.
I quickly messaged our part-timers group chat. "Anyone available to come in at 3? A few minutes later, one of our veteran part-timers replied, "I can come in!" Seriously, I owe so much to these guys. A few days later, a new part-timer named Libby joined our team. Training her fell either to one of the veterans or to me. The first time I trained her, I said, "Hey Libby, I know it's a lot to memorize, each restaurant's course menus, table layouts, but at first, it's fine to just look at the notes while you're on the phone taking reservations."
"Oh, no worries, I've already memorized all of that."
Wait, what? Already? It was only her second day on the job, and she'd memorized everything! That's unreal! Libby, you're amazing! Thanks for working so hard.
Huh? Oh no, you don't need to thank me. I should be thanking you for teaching me so kindly.
Seriously, we were lucky to have such great part-timers. But one Friday night, things got tense. Reservations were pouring in, and the office was pure chaos. About 10 part-timers, including Libby, plus me, all scrambling to answer phones. That's when...
"Hey, Libby, make me a coffee, will ya? Bring it over."
Huh?
"Come on, hurry up. I'm so thirsty."
The VP said that while reading manga at his desk.
Well...
Libby hesitated, but before she could finish, another call came in. She quickly answered, clearly flustered.
"Hey, Libby, I said coffee. Hurry up, come on."
Seriously? Couldn't you see we were drowning in calls? Even the dumbest person alive would notice no one has a spare moment right now. I was already stressed from the rush, and this just pushed me over the edge. "Hey, Vice President! Even the dumbest person in the world could tell we're too busy for that right now. Make your own damn coffee!
Oh, so you're saying I'm dumber than the dumbest person alive?
He slammed his manga onto his desk with a loud bang, stood up, and stormed out of the office. He never came back that night. The next day, he called in sick. Yeah, right, more like faking it. That morning, I had a meeting with the manager at the izakaya pub where Paige works. I left the office just before 10 a.m. As I was about to cross the street near our building,
Good morning, Paul.
Libby came jogging toward me from the other side. But at that moment, I saw it. A car barreling towards the intersection at full speed. The light was red, but the driver didn't even slow down. And just a few feet ahead of that car was Libby! Watch out! I started running before I even realized it. Libby screamed as she noticed the speeding car. At the same time, I shoved her out of the way. The next moment, I felt my body rolling across the ground. My vision blurred, and then everything went black. When I woke up, I was lying in a spacious hospital room. Paige? Libby?
Oh my God, Paul!
Libby's eyes filled with tears.
Paul! I'll go get the doctor!
Paige jumped up in a panic. Wait, hospital? Oh, right. Libby was about to be hit by that car. Libby told me what happened after I blacked out. Apparently, we'd been on a steep slope, so when I hit the ground, I rolled all the way down. My head slammed into a guardrail, then into a bag some construction workers had left by the road, and that's when I lost consciousness. I'd fractured several bones, and the doctor said I'd be hospitalized for at least 2 months.
They said you seem okay, but they're gonna run brain scans just to be sure.
Oh, okay, I see. Wait, what about the driver? Were they okay?
Yeah, they said the driver started feeling lightheaded and lost feeling in their hands and feet while driving. They managed to hit the brakes so no one lost their lives, but they're in the hospital too.
No one lost their life. Oh, that's good. That's a relief.
I'm so sorry! This is all my fault!
Libby burst into tears. Libby, I'm just glad you're okay,
Paul!
she whispered, still crying. Seeing Libby in tears, I suddenly snapped back to reality. If I was going to be hospitalized for a long time, I needed to let the president know right away. So I called him and explained the situation. But right after I hung up, my phone rang again. It was the VP. Great, what does he want now? Reluctantly, I answered. Hello?
Hey, so I heard you're gonna be in the hospital for a while. If you're fine with getting fired, you can just stay there.
What?
A mouthy employee like you, we don't need that here. If you're gonna be out for a long time, we might as well just fire you.
Unbelievable. But then again, maybe this was the perfect chance. I let out a small sigh. All right then, I quit.
Huh?
I'm quitting the company. That's it.
You're quitting? Paul, wait, what are you saying?
I hung up. I'd been planning to quit anyway.
Huh? Huh?
Paige and Libby both blinked at me. The VP basically told me I could stay in the hospital if I didn't mind being fired.
What? I can't believe him! He's a horrible person!
It's fine. The only thing I feel bad about is the restaurants that trusted me. Sorry, Paige. Your manager really counted on me.
Seriously, if you leave, he's gonna cry!
And I feel bad for the part-timers, too. I'll have to visit everyone and apologize once I'm discharged. Man, a lot's happened, huh? I was just starting to drift into memories when...
Leave it to me.
Huh?
I want to help you, Paul. I mean it.
Libby stood up from her chair, her fist clenched with determination. That same day, the VP removed me from every company group chat I was in. According to Libby, right after I was kicked out, the VP posted a message in the part-timers group chat that said, "From now on, anyone who stays in contact with Paul is fired." A few days later, the president came to see me and finalized my resignation paperwork. Then a few days after that, I got a call from the VP. I couldn't help but grin as I answered, and I put him on speaker. Well, well. Hello?
Ah, you finally picked up! Hey Paul, I'm taking back your firing. You should thank me. I'm telling you to come back because I feel sorry for you.
Come back? You mean asking me to come back, right? But I'm not interested. Oh, and I heard all the part-timers quit the company, didn't they? From the background noise, I could tell he was at the office, the phones were ringing off the hook, and I could hear the president scrambling to answer calls. Ooh, sounds like things are rough over there. Well, good luck with that. We're in the middle of having a nice chat over here.
We?
Oh, right. All the part-timers are here with me right now.
What? Put one of them on the phone. I've got a few things to...
Sure thing. VP, we can hear every word you're saying, you know?
That voice must be Libby. You guys have made my life a living hell.
You're the one who said anyone who stayed in contact with Paul would be fired, remember? We just followed your instructions. We want to stay in touch with him, so we all quit. Paul was the one who, whenever one of us made a mistake, would sit down with us, figure out what went wrong, and help us find a way to fix it. He'd tell us things like, "You're really good at handling calls," or "I see how hard you're working." Thanks to him, we all wanted to try harder at our jobs. Without Paul, a company with a nightmare like you for an employee isn't worth staying at.
All the part-timers around me nodded in agreement.
What? If you're gonna take their side, then none of you need to come back. We can hire new part-timers. Even without you guys, the company's performance won't be affected. Huh?
At that moment, I overheard the president say, "Vice President, we've got a problem, actually."
What the hell? What is? The restaurants we have contracts with are one after another saying they want to cut ties with us? They said if Paul's gone, they have no reason to work with us anymore? What the fuck is that?
Well, honestly, it made sense. Before I joined, it seems the president and VP were handling the contracts with the restaurants themselves. But since the VP was slacking off, the president was left to do everything alone and got overwhelmed. The work quality suffered so badly that all the restaurants told me, then a rookie, together, "We want to cancel our contracts with your company." At the time, I had to support my family, so I had to earn a living no matter what. I was desperate to save the company and worked hard to regain the trust of those restaurants. After a long time, I finally earned their confidence again.
What? Hey, Paul, you must come back! We'll even give you a raise!
Sorry, but I've already got my next job lined up.
What?
Libby's father's the president of Panic Collection Holdings, one of the biggest players in Japan's food service industry. I was totally shocked.
Panic Collection Holdings? You mean that company?
Yep. Turns out Libby was the daughter of the president of Panic Collection Holdings, the top company in Japan's restaurant industry. Being an only child, Libby was planning to take over her father's company one day, so she decided to work part-time in a food-related business to gain experience. That's how she ended up at our company. By the way, the reason I can even be hospitalized in this spacious private room is thanks to Libby's father.
My father said he wants Paul, the man who saved his daughter's life, to come work for our company. And if the restaurants that contract with your company want, he can introduce you a trustworthy reservation center through his connections. I told my father everything about you, Vice President. He despises you! My father's well connected in the food service industry. You won't be able to find any new restaurants to contact you with your company anymore.
No way. Hey, Paul, do something about this!
What am I supposed to do?
Please, Paul, I was wrong! Come back to the company! I'm begging you!
So I hung up the phone, blocked the VP's account, and put the number on my reject list. Then, together with all the part-timers, we laughed out loud. Not long after, his company went bankrupt after all. The president and VP, having lost their jobs, each moved out of their apartments and started living together in a super cheap rental while drowning in massive debts. The president eventually found another job and started working again. But the VP said,
"There's no way I'm working for a boss who tells me what to do,"
and remained unemployed. Worse, since the company's collapse drove him into despair, the ex-VP started splurging at hostess clubs. The ex-president, after watching his money get wasted by the VP, finally realized, "If I stay with this guy, I'll end up ruined too," and left the apartment. The ex-VP, even abandoned by his own younger brother, ended up borrowing from loan sharks. Now he's working around the clock at a factory on a remote island, getting yelled at by his boss nonstop. Well, serves him right. Meanwhile, as for me, early on, the family of the driver responsible for the accident came to my hospital room with compensation money and apologized. I also heard the driver is on the road to recovery, which was a relief. Then 2 months later, I was discharged from the hospital. Now I'm working as an employee at Panic Collection Holdings. My bosses are great people, and the work environment is amazing. The other day, I went out to eat with Paige and Libby.
Thanks to Libby's dad, our izakaya pup was able to renew our contract with a different reservation center. It's such a relief.
Oh my, it seems like the other restaurants that had contracts with that company are the same. I'm so relieved. Libby, thank you. I heard you even helped find jobs for all the part-timers.
Oh, no need to thank me. Paul is literally the savior of my life. I just asked my dad. I didn't do anything. Though our manager did get lonely since he can't see you anymore, Paul.
I'm not gonna disappear. Hey, how about the three of us go out to drink at Paige's workplace next time?
Oh, that sounds great. But I'd just be a third wheel.
Huh?
Huh? Because you two look so perfect together. No!
What? Paige? Paige!
Oh my, both of you are blushing. Looks like the couple is about to be born. Paul's never had a decent romantic encounter before, so this is the real springtime for you. Congratulations! My name is Paige, 30 years old. I work from home as a web designer. 6 months ago, I married David, who's the same age as me, and I'm currently in the middle of fully enjoying my newlywed life. Is what I'd like to say, but I'm actually living the complete opposite life from happiness. But it's not that I regret getting married to David. If I were to regret anything, it's that on the day that it was decided that we would get married, I ended up giving in on one thing, and that's it. Because I could have never imagined that things were going to turn out like this. 6 months ago, on the day we were going to my mother-in-law's house to inform her that we were going to be married, David's father had already passed away, and his little sister, who was 5 years younger, had already gotten married and moved away from home. His mother was living alone. The apartment where we were living was close to his mother's house, so I had met her a number of times already. Paige, I made you your favorite pudding and I was waiting for you. Every single time, my mother-in-law would prepare my favorite pudding and welcome me so warmly. Yay! Thank you so much, always! As I thanked her, I also handed her a small gift. After we made some small talk, that was when David made the announcement that we were going to get married. Oh goodness, congratulations! Thank you very much! She seemed happy and that was one relief. When you get married, where are you going to live? We plan on just living in the apartment as we have been until now. Oh my, well in that case, what about living here together with me? What? Because David was the eldest son, I figured at some point I would have to be prepared to live together with her when I accepted his proposal, but I didn't think immediately after marriage.
We might end up living together with you eventually, but immediately after getting married is too much. That's not possible.
But you know this house is eventually going to become yours, right, David? I know you're paying what's left on the loan and it's been very helpful for me, but you also have to protect your life with Paige. And if you want to live with me, you wouldn't have to pay rent anymore, right? And plus, I want to free Paige of the burden of doing the chores around the house. I want you to leave all the chores to me. It's true that those are good conditions. I was so busy with work that sometimes I'd have to put off the chores, and to be able to limit the expenses would be really thankful. And I would be able to make you delicious pudding every single day. I'm in.
What?
Shoot, I got carried away by the word pudding and I reacted instantly. Well, then you're okay with it then. She had such a happy, sparkling face that we weren't able to say no anymore. But in that moment, David and I said that we would talk about it together and make our final decision. My husband told me that his mother wasn't the type of person to do chores around the house, but I was drawn in by the pudding and we decided to live with her. Because eventually we were going to be living with her anyway, so I also thought it might be better if I got used to it sooner rather than later. But this was the big mistake. Well then, please take a look at the last 6 months until now since we started living together. The present day. As usual, I was in my room and facing my computer as I was working. From the other side of the door, I heard my mother-in-law's loud voice coming in. Paige, is my lunch not ready? It's gonna be 12 o'clock! As she said that, she started shaking the door. The door was locked, so she wouldn't be able to open it. I'm in the middle of working right now, so please go ahead and eat whatever. I yelled back at the door at the same level as my mother-in-law. What do you mean in the middle of work? You're always lying. I'm telling the truth! This conversation has been repeating almost every single day over the last 6 months. I'm sure you can see already, but my mother-in-law wanted to live together with her beloved son. And so before we got married, she was putting on an act as a wolf in sheep's clothing. Immediately after we started living together, that layer peeled off and she dumped all of the household chores onto me. Your precious mother-in-law says she's hungry and you're gonna prioritize playing games? I'm not playing games, this is work. And plus, I don't see a precious mother-in-law, and you are here. Paige! Oh, come on! I had no choice, so I went to prepare my mother-in-law's lunch. On days that are busy, I would sometimes make a rice bowl for her in the morning, or I'd prepare a lunchbox for her ahead of time. But then my mother-in-law would yell, "Even though you're home, I don't want to eat something cold." And she would deny it, and I made it so that she could warm up the food that I had made in advance, but I don't want to eat the same thing over and over again. And she would complain like this, so even if it was simple, I started making lunch every day. I quickly made lunch and tried to get back to work, but then my mother-in-law stopped me. Paige, this table is small. I want you to buy a new one that's gonna be bigger. Excuse me? It's not that the table is small. You're the one that's huge, isn't it? But of course I wouldn't be able to say that to her. Ma'am, you're the one that said you wanted this table. That's why we bought it over here. Actually, this table was the one we used to use in our apartment. Everything in this house, we replaced most of it when my husband and I moved in. Of course you're not working, so you don't have the money to replace it anyway, do you? What? I've told you many times now that I am working a job. I am a web designer and I can do my job from home. What do you mean designer? You wear such lame clothing and you have the body of a child. There's no way you'd be able to become a designer. Sorry for having the body of a child. And plus, I've said it many times before, but I'm a web designer. I'm not a fashion designer. And it seems that my mother-in-law didn't quite understand the difference there either. You think that just because you speak more slowly, I'm gonna understand. You don't even have kids and you get to be a full-time housewife. Must be nice to be you. Like I said, how many times do I have to tell you I'm working? But no matter how many times I explained it to her, it was useless. I made my mother-in-law's lunch, I went back to my room and started to continue my work. But my mother-in-law would only become this kind of monster in front of me, in front of my husband. She would put on the act of that sweet sheep. Paige, how is the dinner that I made for you? Yesterday you told me that there was too much sugar, so I tried using a little less today.
What? Paige? You said that to my mom?
No, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. Perhaps I had a misunderstanding. You're letting me live with you. I shouldn't become so upset just because you give me a little bit of criticism. I'm going to work harder and do my best so that the food is to your liking, Paige. Again, I didn't give any kind of criticism. In front of my husband, my mother-in-law would put on the act of a sad mother-in-law. And not only that, but I'm the one that made that dinner. My mother-in-law wouldn't do anything around the house. Before my husband got home, she would make me make dinner, and then she would act like she was the one that made it herself. During that time, I heard that my sister-in-law was going to be getting a divorce. My mother-in-law wanted her daughter to come back to this house, and we also agreed with that. However, according to my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law was worried about me and she rejected the idea of moving back home. And of course, my mother-in-law was furious about that. Starting the next day, her anger towards me became even stronger. And every single day, she would say things like, "If you weren't here, I would have been able to live happily with Melissa." Every day was this routine. During that time, my husband told me that he had a business trip over the weekend and he wouldn't be home. For my mother-in-law, that was perfect timing for her to believe me. But it's not like I was gonna lose to that. The weekend. After I sent my husband off, I was waiting for my mother-in-law and I to be alone. And that was when she started grinning at me. You know, David came crying to me yesterday and apologizing that he married such a lazy wife. What? David said that? He said that he wants to get a divorce from you. That's a lie! There's no way I would believe that. I cornered my mother-in-law, but there was no way David would say something like that. But she had this confident look on her face. I know you want to believe that it's a lie, but David told me that he hates you. And the business trip is a lie, too. He said he's going on a vacation with another woman. No way! My mother-in-law was grinning even more, and then she handed me a certain piece of paper. Divorce papers? And there I could see that David's name was already filled out. He asked me to kick you out while he was away from home this weekend. No way. Without me knowing she'd even prepared this? And David was also saying that you were getting in the way of Melissa coming home. He said his brilliant sister is much more important than his useless wife. But of course that's a given, because if you're here, there's no place for my daughter to come back to. So you should be mindful and just leave. David and I, we both want to go back to being family with Melissa. And because you're in the way, my daughter can't come home. My daughter is coming back, so you get out! No way! I was too shocked by how selfish my mother-in-law's words were. But right at that moment, I heard the front door open. What?
Hello. Thank you for hiring us today.
And two men who looked like they were contractors came into the house. Look at me, I'm so well prepared. No, are you joking? Even still, would you take it this far? Before I get home today, make sure you carry out all of your belongings. I don't even want to look at your things, and that computer and those lame clothes. Do you understand? Looks like this woman is seriously trying to kick me out of this house. In that case, I'll do exactly as she wishes, and I'm gonna leave. Alright then, all of my belongings, I'm gonna carry them all out. My mother-in-law seemed confident as she left, but even the contractors seemed like they felt awkward.
Is everything okay?
But with the biggest smile on my face, I replied, everything is more than okay. It seems like my mother-in-law had forgotten a very big detail. In that case, I'm going to do exactly as she wishes and carry out all of my belongings. Well then, let's start here. Everything here in the living room, can you please carry them out? All of it?
What? You're taking out everything that's in this living room?
Yes! Because everything that's here is all furniture and electronics that we have been using from before we got married. And also please take everything that's in the kitchen without leaving a single chopstick behind.
Yes, ma'am.
I wonder what face she'll make when she gets back. While they were carrying out all of the things, I made a phone call to a certain person. I secured a place to keep all of my belongings and the move out was complete. But I'm still not gonna leave yet, because I want to see my mother-in-law's face the moment she gets home. 10 hours later. It was nighttime and my mother-in-law finally came back. The moment she walked into the room, her eyes were open so wide as she was shocked, looking into the room. What's going on here? What do you mean, what? Why isn't there anything in the living room? I only said to carry out your belongings. It's not like we're all moving out of this place together. I also have no intention of moving out of here together with you. But you told me to carry out all of my belongings, so all I did was carry them all out. The dining table and the sofa and the cabinets, everything that was here were things that we bought when we started living together. Don't tell me you forgot about that. What are you saying? Those are all things David bought. What a rude wife you are. No, you're the one that's rude, ma'am. What did you say? The table that you called small, and the sofa that's got a dent in it because you were lying down on it for so many hours, and the fridge that you kept looking into multiple times a day looking for food. Anyway, everything, all of it, those are things that I purchased when I was still single and living alone. So it's a given that I would carry them out. What? When we started living together, I told you, didn't I? These are all things that I bought when I was living alone. Are you sure you're okay with it? Oh, that reminds me. Oh dear, looks like you were a little bit late to remember that. Based on that reaction, even the times you told me you wanted a specific plate, a specific chopstick, you made me purchase them. Looks like you forgot. But that's... You bought all of that with David's money, right? No, I bought it with my own money. I told you many times now, but I'm working properly and I'm not having any trouble with the money. But that's not reason you should carry all of it out like that. We're not gonna be able to live like that. And who is we? Me and David, and also my daughter, obviously. What? Did your daughter say she was gonna move back here? It is true that she got a divorce, but she has a job too. Didn't she say she's already started living alone and has rejected moving back in? That was just her being polite. It's obviously because she didn't want to... Because you're here. If you're not here, then my daughter would come back. Interesting, really? Melissa? Huh? Using my words as a cue, my sister-in-law was actually hiding next door and she slammed the door open and arrived. Actually, the person that I'd called was my sister-in-law. When I told her that I was getting kicked out of the house, she got worried and came flying over here. How many times do I have to tell you I don't want to come back to this house? And the reason why I don't want to come back isn't because of Paige being here, it's because of you being here! What? I've always hated you, Mom! Even though you let David go to college, you told me I had to work a part-time job and take out a student loan to go to school. And yet, every single day you were calling me to get a divorce and to move back here. You can't control your money and you can't even do the chores around the house and you're always crying to me. There's no way I would want to live together with you. You're just always spoiling David and loving him. It's a lie that the whole family wants to live together. When in reality, you're only looking at me as money and someone who does all the chores. That's not true at all. It's just that I thought I'd be able to use you without having to hold back as much as I do with Paige. And you're also working, so we could go shopping too, right? See, you're just after the money and labor. What are you saying? That's not it. That's clearly what it is. Oh, that's enough, whatever. What's so wrong about using things that can be used? Whether you're here or not, it doesn't matter to me, because I have a son that works and earns plenty of money. As long as I have this son in my house, I don't need anything else. Actually, having you two here is more of a bother, so I'm glad you're both leaving. That boy is so kind, I'm sure he'll do the chores for me too.
Who are you talking about when you say, that boy?
What do you mean, who? Obviously you. Wait, what? David? That's right. Actually, David was also standing by in the room next door. You know about your business trip? Didn't you say you were coming home tomorrow?
I finished up early, so I came home early. But more importantly, what's going on here?
What? About what?
Stop acting dumb and explain it to me. Why is all of the furniture gone? Why is Melissa here?
Oh, David, even though you know everything. My husband has been listening to everything from start to finish, but it seems like my mother-in-law seemed to think that my husband had just gotten home now. Well, that's... My mother-in-law's glancing over at my face. I wasn't sure if it was to ask for help because she was telling me to keep my mouth shut. David already knows everything, but maybe I'll send out a little helping ship to my mother-in-law. David! Why did you say that you wanted to get a divorce? And then I pulled out the divorce papers and I started fake crying. Ah! That's...
What is this? Why are there divorce papers with my name already filled in? I don't know anything about this. Nothing. I don't have any recollection of ever signing divorce papers.
Hey, with those acting skills, she's gonna see right through them. It's not what it looks like, David! Oh my, she has no idea.
This handwriting? Wait a minute. Isn't it yours, Mom? Could it be that you filled this behind my back? Wait a minute. Was it really you? You would really do such a thing?
Oh, come on, the acting is so bad it makes me want to laugh! When I looked over at my sister-in-law, her cheeks were twitching. She was desperately holding in her laughter. What? No way! Your mom did this? But why would you do such a horrible thing? It's too horrible. It's too awful. How awful! Oh no, my acting has become bad too. I feel so sorry for the two of you. She was saying that. My sister-in-law was covering her face with both hands and fake crying. She's definitely laughing. Now my mother-in-law was cornered and panicking. However, as she had a sudden realization, she put her head up and turned to David and... I'm sorry! And she started apologizing. To tell you the truth, actually, I was being bullied by Paige. Well, so now that's your tactic. She said my food was too spicy, that the vegetables were too hard, and she kept telling me I needed to feed her better things. I was reaching the limit. She would always lie that she was working and constantly leaving the house. And she says she didn't have any money, so I needed to go get it from you. I was just so scared of Paige all this time. Wow, she's putting on an award-winning act.
Mom.
After hearing his mother's words, my husband looked like he didn't know how to respond. When my mother-in-law saw that, she tried pushing it even further. I don't want to be with a daughter-in-law that's this scary!
Mom, stop lying.
What?
You know that you were dumping all of the chores on Paige, don't you?
What? That's right, my husband actually knew everything.
You said that Paige was unemployed. or that she had the body of a child, and you were the one who was bullying her.
What? How do you know that? You snitched, didn't you? Yeah. I'm more surprised why you thought I wouldn't say anything. Ugh! You made me cook, and then you tried to say that you made it yourself. That's pushing it. David immediately knew that that wasn't the case, and he was the one that asked me if you were dumping all the chores on me. You know, on the second day since we started living together. You knew it from that far back? Yes, and you continued to put on the act of a poor mother-in-law, and the two of us were actually laughing this whole time that you were such a funny person. Wow, I wanted to see that. It was seriously hilarious. What the hell? The reason why David didn't say anything to me after that, because I'm important to him, right? I'm much more important to him than some loser woman like this, right?
Obviously not.
What?
Paige said that she had an idea. That's why she asked me to stay quiet and just observe.
What?
Every single day, when I thought about how much my precious Paige was suffering, it was so hard for me. But Paige was tolerating it and holding it in all this time. Do you have any idea why?
What? Could it be that you relied on me and cared for me like I was your real parent?
As if!
What? I was thinking that I would hold it in until I would receive the pudding that you promised me. You said you were gonna buy me pudding! So where's the pudding you promised me? That was the reason? Obviously not.
The fact that you would even lie to Paige about pudding? How sad. We were paying the loan on this house and all of the living expenses, but we're not helping you anymore.
Wait a minute. But you know, this house is eventually going to become yours. If the loan isn't paid on the house, then they're gonna take it away.
Well, there's no need to worry about that, because I'm planning on denying that inheritance.
Me too. What?
Melissa and me, neither of us want anything to do with you anymore. From now on, you're going to live your life alone.
No way. Why are you doing this much to me?
What do you mean, why?
The resentment from pudding is scary. After we completely stopped any financial help, not even 6 months passed before the family house was put up for sale. Apparently now she's living in a ragged apartment with her small amount of Social Security. The Social Security isn't enough for her living expenses, so apparently she's going further into debt every day. Well, that's none of our business, though. As for us, we ended up building our dream house. Actually, as soon as we started living with David's mother, we decided that we were gonna part ways with her, and we quietly started planning for this new house. That's why I was tolerating the bullying. Today was finally the moving day. Thank you for helping with the move. Not at all. I hate my mother, but I am grateful to my brother. He kept it secret from her, but he let me borrow money to go to school, and he was also secretly helping me with the chores she dumped on me. Actually, my husband was also secretly helping me too. He would wake up early and do the laundry, or he would make some food to try to lessen the burden on me. That might be why I was able to tolerate it for so long.
Hey, let's take a little break.
I looked over, and for some reason my husband was holding a big bucket. What is that?
Ta-da! This is my specialty bucket pudding. Let's eat it together.
What is this? That's way too amazing! My brother is the best. What happened, happened. But I was able to eat my pudding, and I was fully satisfied. I am so glad that I got to marry David. My name is Paige. I'm 27 and work at a department store. Thanks to years of hard work, I got promoted to floor manager. Pretty young for the position if I say so myself. I've got a boyfriend I'm dating with marriage in mind. His name is Ben, and he's 2 years older than me. A funny thing, he's actually friends with my older brother Paul. We met when Ben happened to come over to my house one day, started chatting, and totally hit it off. We've been together for about almost 2 years now, and lately we've been talking about marriage. Oh, there he is. He promised to pick me up from work today so we could go out for dinner.
Hey, Paige. Been waiting long?
I'm still on the clock, you know?
Huh?
Yep, that's Ben. He's good looking enough to get attention from other girls, but he's also a little absent-minded, which is part of his charm.
Oh, guess I got the meeting time wrong, huh?
Looks like it. I'm off in about 30 minutes, so you can walk around the store while you wait. Oh, right! Did you decide what we're eating tonight? Ben looks down and mumbles,
Still deciding.
Hey, it's your turn this time. Make it somewhere good. Basically, we take turns choosing our dinner spots. I picked last time, so tonight's his responsibility.
Is there anything you're craving?
Aha, so you're fishing for hints. In other words, you haven't decided at all, have you?
Yeah.
Ben can be a little indecisive. He tends to go with the flow instead of making choices, so I had a feeling I'd be picking the place again tonight. That's when I hear, well, if it isn't Paige! I turn around and there's this flashy-looking woman. It's me, Alexis! Let me tell you, this is not someone I wanted to run into. She's the kind of person you should avoid at all costs. Long time no see! I've gotten so gorgeous you didn't recognize me, huh? You, on the other hand, haven't changed a bit. You look like a little kid in high school, and honestly, you still do! Yep, same old Alexis. Still the queen of backhanded compliments. Oh, and who's this handsome guy? She says, staring directly at Ben. Great, now she spotted him too.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Ben, Paige's boyfriend.
Anyone else meeting him wouldn't bother me today, but today, here, with her, couldn't be worse timing. You see? What? Paige, he's way too good for ya! I'm Alexis, by the way. Her eyes were practically shaped like little hearts. Yeah, this girl has a hobby, stealing other girls' boyfriends, especially if they're good looking. Back in school, she left a trail of broken-hearted girls in her wake, and she never cared one bit. I'll admit, Alexis was always the cute type back then. But now, she's turned into the glamorous model-type beauty who just screams men will fall for me. Wait a second. There's a man standing behind her. I asked, "Is that your boyfriend, Alexis?" She froze for just a moment, then glanced over her shoulder. Huh? Oh, yeah, I guess so, she said casually before quickly turning back to us. Anyway, I want to be friends with your boyfriend, Paige. Can I swap numbers with him? She was already pulling out her phone.
Paige, what should I do?
No, why on earth would you need Ben's number? That's just weird. Absolutely not. Oh, come on. Fine, then give me your number, Paige. Also no. And besides, I'm still at work, so I don't even have my phone on me. Anyway, gotta get back. I'm busy, so bye. Ugh, you're such a stingy little thing. She pouted before stomping off while mumbling under her breath. Then, Ben turns to me.
Paige, you don't like her, do you?
Well, yeah, not really, I admitted. He didn't ask any more questions, but I had a feeling he got the hint. That evening, I wrapped up work and Ben took me to a lovely Italian restaurant. We had a great dinner, then headed home. I honestly thought that was the end of it. But little did I know what was about to happen. A few days later, it was my day off, and Ben and I had a date planned. Lately, we'd been talking about finally setting a date and venue for the wedding. Today was our big venue tour day. While I was getting ready to head out, my brother Paul popped his head in.
Hey, Paige. Venue tour today, right?
Yep.
Already decided where you're gonna have it?
Not yet. There are still so many beautiful places. I can't choose.
Well, you only get married once, so pick the place you really like.
Aw, thanks, Paul. Paul is such a sweetheart, which makes me wonder why his luck with women has always been so awful. Right then, my phone rang. Hello? Ben, what's up?
Paige?
His voice sounded low, almost grim. Don't tell me you overslept, I teased, trying to keep it light, though I suddenly felt this uneasy knot in my stomach. But then, Ben said something that completely floored me.
Paige, I think we should break up.
Huh? What kind of joke is that?
I'm not joking. I'm serious.
What? Why? Did I do something wrong? If you've ever been dumped out of the blue, you know exactly the kind of panic I was feeling right then.
The truth is, I've decided to start dating Alexis.
What?
That's all I can say. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Hold on! Are you telling me Ben fell for Alexis's tricks too? I couldn't even process it. My brain just froze.
Paige? What happened?
Paul, my brother, was looking at me with concern. He said we should break up.
What?
He's going to date my old classmate instead. So, he's ending things with me. Paul looked just as stunned as I felt.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Ben's not the kind of guy who would do that.
Yeah, or at least I thought he wasn't, but Alexis is beautiful.
Alexis? Alexis isn't that Alexis? The one who used to be your friend? The Alexis with the...
Yeah, that Alexis. I just ran into her at the department store the other day. Paul knew exactly what I meant. Alexis's reputation for stealing other women's boyfriends was legendary. Still, I couldn't wrap my head around how Ben, without a single real conversation about it, could just throw me away like that. My thoughts were a tangled mess. For a while, I was completely crushed. Paul, my friends, they all came by my house and even stopped by my workplace just to cheer me up. But no matter how much support I got, the sadness didn't go away. I felt like an empty shell for weeks. Eventually, though, I started to pull myself together. I threw myself into work, kept busy, and tried to rebuild my confidence little by little. Then, about 6 months after the breakup, one day I got home, opened my mailbox, and saw a wedding invitation inside. The name on the envelope, Alexis. What? I tore it open and inside was a note. Ben and I are getting married! You have to come to the wedding! What the actual hell? She's actually marrying him? The man she stole! From me! Just then, Paul showed up.
I figured. You got one too, huh? Ben's wedding invitation?
Yeah, from Alexis.
Unbelievable, right? What the hell are those two even thinking?
Even my usually mild-mannered brother was clearly pissed.
So, Paige, what are you gonna do?
Not go, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But you know, should we really just let them live happily ever after like this?
What do you mean by that?
Alexis, I know quite a few friends who got badly hurt after being tricked by that woman.
Now that he mentioned it, I had heard something like that before.
I didn't want to bring her up because I knew how much she hurt you, Paige. But
Paul then began telling me stories about friends of his who'd been burned by Alexis and her nasty behavior. The more I listened, the more my anger meter started hitting the red zone. Paul, I'm going to the wedding.
that's the spirit. That's the Paige I know. Let's go!
Yeah, you're right. Alexis can't be allowed to just live happily ever after. She needs to pay for what she's done.
Yeah, I feel the same. I'm planning to talk to Ben and get the whole story out of him.
Right. If it's now, maybe he'll actually talk. But first we need to give Alexis proper punishment. Watch yourself, Alexis. I'm going to expose your true colors for everyone to see. This is how I decided I would attend their wedding. Of course, I also reached out to my old college friends, and everyone who'd received an invitation agreed to come too. The wedding day arrived. Today was Ben and Alexis's big day. Alexis was still in the dressing room, but Ben was in the lobby greeting guests.
Paige, look, I'm sorry. Today, I'm glad you came.
It had been 6 months since I last saw Ben, and he looked a bit worn down. Like life had been rough lately. I thought to myself, well, that's interesting, but it didn't change the fact that he had betrayed me. Oh, don't worry about it. Congrats on the wedding! I said with a bright smile, then walked away from him to join a group of my friends. Naturally, the friends who knew the backstory were concerned about me. Paige, are you sure you're okay being here? Totally, and hey, sorry for dragging you guys along with me. It's fine, but still, seeing him getting married, your ex-fiancé of all people. Well, yeah. Doesn't it make you angry? Hannah whispered, careful not to make it obvious. Not at all, because... Because? Well, you'll see later. Oh, and Anna, you remember how awful it was back then, right? Both Hannah and Anna were victims too, back in college. Alexis had stolen their long-term boyfriends as well. Yeah, I'm married now and happy, but honestly, Alexis left me with some pretty deep trauma. I still can't even think about dating a guy without feeling scared. Hannah admitted. Yeah, turns out when someone steals your partner, it can scar you so badly that moving on to a new relationship feels impossible. Both Hannah and Anna know that pain well. And they weren't the only ones. Most of the women at this wedding had boyfriends stolen by Alexis at some point. All of them were on board with the plan Paul and I had cooked up. They'd been planning to skip the wedding too, but I convinced them to attend. Today we're giving Alexis exactly what she deserves. Watch closely, okay? We all exchanged knowing smiles. Also, Paul was over with Ben's friends. Alexis's parents were there too, along with Ben's. Soon everyone here will see the real Alexis. I could barely contain my excitement. My grin just wouldn't go away. Then, Alexis emerged from the dressing room. Well, Paige, you actually came, huh? Oh, and thanks to the rest of you for showing up too, she said with that fake, sugary tone. The bride made her grand entrance in a pure white wedding dress. From around the room, I heard a few mumbled, half-hearted congratulations. Clearly, no one felt like saying it. Not a single voice had any real enthusiasm. Oh, Ben, you look so good in that tux. You know, if things had gone differently, Paige would be the one standing next to you right now. Oops, my bad. Ben just couldn't help falling for me instead. Alexis, you piece of shit! You are such a... Hannah and Anna were ready to explode, but I stopped them. Hey, girls, it's fine. Honestly, I'm not the slightest bit upset. What? Why would I be jealous? You're marrying someone who doesn't even love you. There's nothing enviable about that. Huh? Wait, what are you talking about? Well, I don't know all the details, but it's pretty clear you're not exactly loved. At that, Alexis's face turned bright red in an instant. What nonsense are you spouting? That's not true at all. Ben loves me. Alexis barked back, her face turning crimson. Honestly, a bride in a wedding dress with a tomato red face of rage? Not exactly cute. While she was huffing and puffing at me, Paul approached, flanked by several men.
Of course he doesn't love you, 'cause you blackmailed him into marrying you.
What? You made up lies about him stalking you or trying to hurt you, didn't you? All total nonsense. You told him if he didn't marry you, you'd go to the police, get him fired from his job, maybe even mess with Paige here. You used dirty, underhanded tricks to force his hand. That's right. Turns out Ben had been threatened with all sorts of made-up accusations. He tried to deny it, of course, but when she added threats against me on top of the police in his workplace, gentle Ben kept it all to himself. Being indecisive as well, he couldn't figure out what to do, and in the end, he was tricked into breaking up with me. Just the other day, Paul had met up with Ben and gotten the full truth out of him. From my side, all I could think was, why didn't he come to me first? You guys! Oh? Looks like Alexis realized exactly who these men Paul brought along are.
Hey, Alexis, what about our wedding?
Huh? You told me you were gonna marry me!
You said you wanted to get married, so I even bought you a ring.
What the hell? I bought you a car!
Who exactly were you planning to marry, Alexis? Every time I did something for you, you just vanished. Same here. I even booked the wedding venue.
Oh, this guy. He's the one I saw at the department store with her. Yep, you guessed it. These fine gentlemen are all Alexis's ex-boyfriends. And get this! These guys weren't just dating her back in the day. Oh no. Alexis had actually promised to marry each and every one of them. Yup, she had them all buying her this and that too. Cha-ching! But wait, there's more! Turns out all of them were connected to Paul in one way or another. What are the odds? Small world, huh? Wait, why are you all here? I didn't invite you. That's when Ben muttered quietly.
I asked Paul to bring them.
What the hell do you think you're doing? The bride's shriek made the wedding guests start to murmur in confusion.
Honestly, I had no idea you'd hurt this many men.
Ben might be partly to blame for letting it drag on all the way to the wedding, but still. So Alexis, what? Looks like this wedding isn't gonna happen, Just look around you. She did. Every face in the crowd was glaring. Yes, including Ben's parents and her own. First, you need to apologize to everyone here. Apologize? No way! Men and women break up all the time. Well, that's some bold shamelessness you've got there.
Alexis, what's the meaning of this? If what they say is true, I can't allow you to marry my son, Ben!
You'll need to pay proper compensation to the men you've wronged. I told you we broke up already! Broke up? More like you conned them and tossed them aside, right? You tricked Ben too, didn't you? And threatened him on top of that? That is not something you can just walk away from. I thought maybe we'd let you off easy if you apologized, but it looks like you're beyond saving. What? Are you? All right, gentlemen, she's all yours. I called out loudly, and in came a group dressed in black. Yep, you guessed it, the infamous Panic Family's men. Now then, time to take Alexis back to my mom. Penny's law office and have her go through all the proper procedures. And you, poor ex-boyfriends, please come along and tell my mom Penny every last detail of Alexis's little crimes, okay? Hee. Wait, no, don't, please! Alexis put up a fuss, but she was taken away without much trouble. Penny grilled her hard, and she said she'd eventually make sure Alexis ended up behind bars. Perfect! Case closed. Next up.
Paige, I'm really sorry. The truth is, I actually...
Stop it! Ben started mumbling like he always does, but I cut him off instantly. Don't. Whatever your reasons, you still betrayed me. You should have told me back then.
Yeah, you're right. I'm really sorry.
I don't need you in my life anymore. Goodbye. I'll be happy without you. With that, I turned my back on Ben. As for Alexis, turns out the compensation she had to pay her exes was astronomical. On top of that, there were the wedding venue cancellation fees also all on her. In the end, she spent a nice little stint in jail, and after getting out, she's been working from morning to night without a wink of rest. Her entire life now, just paying off debt. Serves her right. Oh, and Ben? Well, he hasn't exactly been doing great either. Quit his job, became a shut-in. He's practically a husk of a man. Word is he fell deep into booze and gambling, and now he's buried in debt too. As for me, I've completely bounced back and I'm killing it at work again. They say the best way to get over heartbreak is with a new love, but for now, I'm sticking to my career. All right, time to crush it today too.
My name is Paige. I'm a 28-year-old company employee. I work at a subcontractor for a major food products developer, and we produce the actual product. From cookies to cakes and different kinds of treats, the company is specializing in these things at this factory. I work in sales for this company, and it's my job to do business with all kinds of partners. I was originally in an administrative role, but they encouraged me that I might be better in an outward-facing role, so I moved to the sales department, and now I am totally hooked. Just like my boss decided, it seems like it suits my personality to meet all kinds of people and to be able to talk to the workers at the factories. Every day, I'm enjoying my job. At times, the clients can give us orders that are really ridiculous, and this is where the person in charge of sales shows their skills. Previously, something like this happened too. What? 500 red and white mochi by the end of this week? The person on the other side of the phone is the CEO of the supermarket Martin that our company often works with. It was a big local supermarket, and it's always had a good reputation for being loved by the customers. Normally they don't give us such crazy requests, but...
I'm sorry, Miss Page, I made a mistake. Actually, we had ordered it from a different subcontractor, but we had written the wrong number of zeros, and they said that it's impossible to change it now, and rejected us. This weekend is the 30th anniversary of Supermarket Martin, and we're having a festival. And yet...
I see. It's true that in order to prepare 500 pieces within the next few days, that would be hard. But when it comes to 500 pieces, that's a lot.
I knew it was going to be a big ask, but I thought that maybe if it was you, Miss Page, you might be able to do something about it. So I bared my embarrassment and called you. Miss Page, please, is there anything you can do?
Mr. Martin is one of our big customers that's been doing business with our company for a long time. He has a lot of trust from his employees, and he runs his business always with his customers in mind. He values his customers, and he's a business owner that I respect. Normally he's good to us, and in times like this, I want to be able to help him. All right then, I'm going to discuss it with my boss, and I'll contact you. After I said that, I hung up the phone, but I did think that this was going to be too difficult this time. However, when I spoke to my manager, Mr. Oscar, about it, he immediately started calling factories to negotiate with them.
It's rare for Mr. Martin to make a mistake like that, but up until now, Mr. Martin has been really good to us, so I'll try and go ask the factories directly myself. But then Mr. Evan at the factory also said... It's a pretty difficult request, but if we keep the factory running until late at night, I'm sure we can figure something out. Plus, when it comes to a request from you, Miss Page, there's no way to say no.
And just like that, things moved along smoothly, and... Mr. Martin, it looks like we'll be able to figure it out. I think we'll be able to make the delivery within this week.
Are you serious? Oh, you saved us, Miss Page. And to everybody in the factories, I'm so grateful, so grateful. With this, we'll be able to hand out delicious mochi to all the employees and the customers. Truly, thank you so much. From now on, we're going to increase our business with you even more.
Mr. Martin was extremely happy, and we were also able to help our business partner, and I was happy with the results. And so all of the employees came together and were able to produce results, and it makes me glad that I work in sales. And then after this incident, Mr. Martin became one of our company's most important customers. A few months later, however, the relationship between our company and Mr. Martin didn't last for much longer. The CEO, Mr. Martin, was going to be retiring, and his only daughter, Miss Tabitha, was going to be taking after the supermarket. And this woman, she had quite the personality. After she graduated from college, she went to study abroad to get her master's at a university in America. She came back at 26 years old, and after training for a few months under Mr. Martin, she was immediately placed in charge as the manager of the supermarket. On top of that, my younger brother Kevin is also currently studying abroad to get his master's at the same university. It's a pretty high-level university, and apparently it's hard to graduate, so I'm sure she's a very brilliant person, but the rumor is that in her personal life, she was raised extremely spoiled, and she is a brat. Even when I went to greet her, I got a really bad feeling from her. Nice to meet you. My name is Paige. Your father took good care of us today. I came here to greet you. I said that and I gave her my business card, but Miss Tabitha said to me, Huh? Oh, you're the subcontractor. I was wondering why you were wearing such a cheap-looking suit. All of a sudden, she was looking down on me, and it shocked me. It was true that compared to Miss Tabitha, who was wearing a super flashy suit and accessories all over her, I may have looked plain, but... Hey, listen, I'm sure you know this already, but ever since I was born, I was raised as the daughter of a CEO, and I'm an elite CEO that learned business in America. I'm on a different level from a poor little subcontractor woman like you, and from now on, I'm at the top of this Martin empire, so you better listen to what I say. Excuse me? Her attitude is so different from the previous CEO that my eyes were wide open. Oh, you can just leave your business card over there. If I have time to look at it, then I guess I'll take a look at it. But also, if we need anything, I'll contact you from our side. Anyway, I'm busy with a lot of things, so hurry up and get out. And she had no intention of exchanging business cards. Ugh, do you think you could at least say hello and introduce yourself? And in this way, from the very first meeting, I had a bad impression of Miss Tabitha. But in times like this is when I show my skills in sales. I'm not going to just bend over like that. After that, I continued to be persistent with my sales, and a few months later, I was finally able to receive a new contract from Miss Tabitha. When I received her call, I went flying over to Supermarket Martin. This weekend, we're going to have a party here and invite all of our best customers. So I want you to prepare 1,000 boxes of cookies with our name on it. You can write my name on it, Tabitha, in all caps. What? Is this person being serious when she's saying that? But that's so sudden. Well, that's because I suddenly thought about it this morning. You know, because I am such a genius. Things just suddenly come to me like that. And to give them cookies with my name on it, it's going to be so premium. Actually, maybe 1,000 pieces won't be enough. No, that wasn't some inspiring idea. It was just a thought that you had. Is that so? But this weekend is a little bit... I wasn't sure how to respond to her, but then Miss Tabitha flipped her attitude instantly and... Are you telling me that you can't do it? We are your biggest customer, so obviously you're going to do something this small for us, right? No, but I need to see the situation at the factories and... Are you planning on saying no? Do you even know the situation that you're in? If you can't do a job that's this simple, we're never going to do business with you ever again. I couldn't believe what she was saying, and I was in shock. But I couldn't let one of our biggest customers, Supermarket Martin, cancel their contract with us, so... All right then, we will figure it out. When I got back to the company, I immediately contacted Mr. Oscar and Mr. Evan. The two of them somehow managed the factories, and after working late into the night every day, they were somehow able to make the products on time. When it was over, even the veteran employees at the factories were exhausted. However, there wasn't a single word of thanks from Miss Tabitha, and she accepted the products like it was a given for them to be there. And then, after that, Miss Tabitha started forcing impossible problems onto our company. Hey, listen, about the products that we have a contract with you for, can you make them a little bit cheaper? But we've had this contract with you at this price this whole time. Excuse me? We can cancel the contract with you anytime we want, and you're the one that's going to be in trouble if we cancel the contract home, all right? Other than that, she would make requests for impossible deadlines or tell us we need to increase the amount of products, and she says whatever she wants. And if I showed any sign of difficulty, she would threaten us that she was going to cancel the contract with us. Because they were one of our biggest business partners, I tried to push the impossible and somehow make it work. But at this rate, it was going to affect our business with our other partners, and it was causing a lot of difficulty for the staff at the factories. That being said, Supermarket Martin was still one of our company's main partners. If the contract becomes terminated, it would affect our company business. And with all of this, I was at a complete loss. But then, seeing how I was doing, Mr. Oscar was worried about me and he came over to speak to me.
Miss Page, you're having some trouble with Supermarket Martin, aren't you? Ever since the business owner changed, their reputation has gone down. Is there anything that I can do to help?
Mr. Oscar is a really reliable boss that taught me everything about working in sales ever since I was a new hire. Until now, he saved me from a lot of tight situations, but I couldn't just rely on Mr. Oscar's help forever. And plus, Mr. Oscar was carrying his own load of work and should be busy too. Thank you so much, but I'm okay. I'm going to figure it out and see this through. I said that, and then I walked away, but at that time, I never could have imagined that a few days later, I was going to be roped into an even more difficult situation. A few days later, I was called out by Miss Tabitha, so I was heading towards Supermarket Martin again. Hey, listen, we're thinking about selling a new product coming up, so you're welcome. I'll sign the contract with you. What, really? Oh, thank you very much. You immediately start bowing and thanking. Oh, must be hard to be a subcontractor. Ugh, so irritating. But hold it in, Paige. And so, what is the contract quantity, and when would the deadline be? Yes, let's see. 5,000 pieces in 2 weeks from now, at this price. And she said that, Miss Tabitha handed me the order request. What? When I looked at those numbers, my eyes opened wide. Hey, wait a minute. Because it's a new product, that means we need to prepare everything from packaging as well, right? On the factory side, they also have to make adjustments for a new product. 2 weeks is definitely impossible. Even 1 month would be difficult for a project like this. And plus, this price, it would have to be at least double this. Otherwise, it was such a ridiculous order that I couldn't help but raise my voice. Huh? What do you mean impossible? Even though you're just a subcontractor, why are you speaking like that to me? No, what's impossible is going to be impossible. Not only can you not meet the deadline, you're asking us to pay double? Who do you think you are? Who do I think I am? But I'm only saying the obvious. I was trying to hold my words, but then Miss Tabitha came out with the usual hand. Look, we don't mind canceling our contract with you, and you're the one that's going to be in trouble, right? It was exactly as she says, but I was at a loss for words. And then Miss Tabitha finally said this to me. Well then, I'll let you choose. Half the deadline or half the price. Which do you want? I'm letting the subcontractor choose. I'm so nice, aren't I? Excuse me? But obviously both of those are going to be impossible. You can give me a response by tomorrow. Well, if you say no, I'm sure you know what's going to happen. Anyway, I'll be waiting for your call. As she said that, Miss Tabitha disappeared from her office. She was being so ridiculous that I felt like steam was going to come out of my head. But if I go on a rampage here, then it would cause trouble to my company. My goodness, what am I supposed to do? If the contract with Supermarket Martin is canceled, our company would be in a huge loss. At this point, I could no longer handle the situation by myself. When I got back to the company, I decided to discuss it with Mr. Oscar. Mr. Oscar, I am terribly sorry. I wanted to be able to resolve this on my own, but actually... And so I told Mr. Oscar everything that had happened up until now and the conversation I had just had. But then, even though he's normally calm and warm, I could see his face started twitching.
What did you say? She's looking down on the subcontractor and forcing impossible conditions? This is the worst kind of business. I didn't know that Supermarket Martin had turned into this kind of company. I'm sorry for not having noticed until now. As for this, I'm gonna go and discuss it with the CEO myself.
He was quick to say that, but then he went flying over to the CEO's office. 30 minutes later...
Well, Miss Page, this was good timing. When I spoke to the CEO, they gave me some good information.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, actually, you see...
When I heard the secret that Mr. Oscar whispered to me, I was shocked. Is that true?
Yeah, so, Miss Page, you don't need to worry about anything anymore. You can just make the decision that you think is correct.
Yes, understood. Oh, thank you very much. Yes! Now that I had gotten the permission of my boss, that bully woman that looks down on people, I'm gonna make her regret trying to pick a fight with me and this company. And so, this is how I decided to get my revenge on Miss Tabitha. The next day, I went to the CEO's office of Supermarket Martin, and Miss Tabitha was waiting for me. There, she was leaned back in her chair. Oh, look, it's the Little Miss Subcontractor. Did you decide on a response about yesterday? Yes, we've decided. Yesterday, when I got back to the company, I also discussed it with our CEO, and... So, which one is it going to be? Half the deadline, or is it going to be half the price? As usual, she had such an arrogant attitude, but I faced her, and I finally said this to her. Actually, the contract is finished. Thinking about the future of our company, it's been decided that we don't need our contract with your company anymore. I also came here today because my boss informed me to tell you this. What? Hey, wait, what? It was such an unexpected response that Miss Tabitha sat there with her eyes wide open. What do you mean? But if you terminate your contract with us, you're the one that's going to be in trouble, right? Oh, up until yesterday, I also thought that too. But the CEO themselves told me that we're not going to be doing business with you anymore anyway. Huh? Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Even though you're the subcontractor, you're just a subcontractor. Actually, when Mr. Oscar went to the CEO to discuss the situation with them, in unexpected timing, the CEO said that they had just secured a contract with a new business partner. And the new business partner was a supermarket that opened up a few years ago in this area. And recently, a lot of the customers from Supermarket Martin have been going to that supermarket instead. And their business has been going well, and they've even started opening up a chain of supermarkets. Ever since that supermarket opened in this area, Mr. Oscar and I had been doing our best to develop our relationship with them, and little by little we worked hard to gain their trust. And finally, that hard work had paid off. It was such a big contract for the first time in a while that Mr. Oscar and I celebrated hand in hand. We're not going to be doing business with a place that looks down on their subcontractors anymore. And on top of that, it seems like your business skills are pretty horrible, aren't they? You ignored your old customers and you keep putting in flashy new products. And now your old customers have been leaving little by little. You're not thinking about the customer at all, are you? And even this new product, it's just a copy of another major brand. You're just a little subcontractor. You better stop speaking like that. I graduated from university in America and, oh, about that, you said that you went and got your master's there, but in reality, you just went for a few months and you didn't actually graduate, did you? Hey, how do you know that? Actually, my little brother Kevin, who was studying abroad there, looked into it and told me that, as it turns out, Miss Tabitha wasn't studying abroad. She was just playing abroad. She didn't go to school and she was just going to parties every single day. So yeah, of course she wouldn't be able to run a business like that. Even if we continue business with you, it doesn't turn into any profit for us. So as of today, we're going to be terminating our contract with you. And for the other subcontractors, they already know about your reputation. So I'm sure it'll be difficult for you to get a contract, but good luck to you. Thanks for everything until now. Miss Tabitha was stunned, but I left her behind and I walked out to the CEO's office. Hey, wait a minute. If you terminate the contract, we're going to be in trouble. Her pathetic voice was echoing, but that was none of my business anymore. That reminds me, when it came to the mochi incident, the culprit behind the mistake in the order was Miss Tabitha. And back then, even though she was already doing irresponsible and sloppy work, why did the previous generation's CEO give her the seat of CEO? When it came to work, he was very serious and he was well trusted, but it seems that he wasn't the same when it came to raising a child. After that, the supermarket Martin lost all of their customers, and in no time, it went bankrupt and closed. After throwing flashy parties and making impossible product demands, they were left with a huge debt, and apparently Miss Tabitha was finally released by her family, and they disowned her. These days, she's living in a crappy apartment and is having to work part-time jobs from morning until night. And then, as for our company, work was going smoothly with our new business partners, and sales have also gone up. Every day I'm becoming more and more busy. But as for this incident, because I carried it all by myself until the last minute, I do regret that I didn't properly discuss it with those around me. The CEO also harshly scolded me.
Paige, you're always missing the top 3 things in business: reporting, communication, discussion. These are the standards of business. Oh, sheesh. How many times do I have to tell you for you to understand?
I'm sorry.
Well, well, ma'am. This is the result of her trying her best to resolve it on her own, and it seems like she also deeply regrets it.
It's also because you're too naive, even though you're a director.
Yes, ma'am. As you say, I'll try harder.
Listen up. Anytime you're in trouble, you immediately go and discuss it with your manager.
Yes, ma'am. I'm terribly sorry about that. Starting from next time, I'll hold that heart and keep working hard.
Is that so? As long as you understand. Well, I just don't want you to forget that behind this company, you have me here as well. Thanks to you, we were able to sign a contract with a new business partner, and sales have been increasing steadily. For dinner tonight, why don't we have sukiyaki to celebrate?
Oh, good idea! I will splurge and buy some good meat for it.
Yay! Oh, and don't forget the pudding for dessert.
Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!